G'day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's sort of very different video on YouTube here. Now you may have noticed why my face has gone a little bit flabbergasted in a sense, and of course yes, there's actually a couple of reasons why I actually decided to film this video at about 4 PM now. And I know I shouldn't be making videos at this time, but there's been a lot of things that have actually been worrying me so much these days, but there is some very good news apart from that, and I know it's been very, very difficult so far of late on my YouTube channel. Now I know I've already got about 92 subscribers, and I'm actually going to go ahead and take a look at my YouTube channel to prove that I've actually got about, I'll just say it, 92 subscribers, and that's very good news. And this is actually fairly good to know somehow, and it's a relatively sunny day. And I'll just go ahead and show it to you right now. Okay, here's the number of subscribers. I've got about 92 subscribers here, and I mean, I'm not doing anything special here. I'm surprised that looking outside here, it's a very bright and sunny day today. I mean, look at this. Just so clear, with a whole bunch of puffy white cauliflowers in the sky. Cumulus clouds, that's what they're called. And it's certainly not the warmest of the warm of all of the days so far. And of course here, seeing those skies here, it feels like I'm in paradise. Maybe. It feels like a tropical paradise, but no, it's not. It's a totally, completely and utterly different story here. And I can hear a very creepy door outside here. That's not what I really want to see. I'm just filming cars here. I'm surprised by looking at the cloud here. It just looks so beautiful, and oh my god, that door is very creepy, man. I can really hear it. It actually is scary by the hearings of it. But anyways, with the clear blue skies and the puffy white cumulus clouds in the background, I'm going to pretty much start to vlog seriously, because hey, I'm going to hollow out the truth of what's going on here. And we've also got another car, which I probably presume is an Uber. Well, yeah, since I've just clocked up to about 92 subscribers, man, I'll have to say, it's been very relatively tough here. I might have to close the door on my room here, because, you know, I can't have anything involved. Somehow, that's where I live now. It's just a bit totally different. Flippin' hell. So difficult to make videos these days on YouTube. So what I'm actually basically saying here is, ew. Do you know something here? The ceiling right at the background here, eh? It's actually kind of stained. If you look on your top right corner here, look at the ceiling. If you look closely, there's a stain right over here. That's not very good. Maybe it needs a bit of repainting. Maybe someone had a very nasty bar fight at the house before I just moved in. As obvious as it sounds, but I don't want to talk about it, of course. Let me just go back and sit to where I've actually sat before. And surprisingly, as I'm making some sort of a very strange, 15-minute long vlog, who knows how the hell am I actually going to basically explain over here. That's weird. I've got folliculitis on my moustache, which obviously it's painful. Oh my god. Should have put a warning here and said, warning, this video contains like blood and gore and stuff. And I'm telling you guys, oh my god, I've got nasty folliculitis right over my moustache and stuff. Maybe I need to try and wash my face a bit carefully next time. Oh well. So, anyways, well, what I was saying was, you remember I spoke about the toy views being a bit of a real thing? Well, I have to hold them back, I'm afraid now, and the reason why I've decided to cancel out my flip-flap toy views for this week is because, well, I might be able to do some, possibly about, I might probably say Friday or Saturday, Sunday, we'll see how it goes. Maybe Monday of next week, I don't know, it's just going to become a little bit relatively difficult. Maybe tomorrow, okay, so I'm just having a little bit of a difficult thought around my head here and say, how the hell am I really going to deal with problems that much? And actually, I've still got folliculitis, which is still rattling my moustache. I don't like it when it always seems to, take over and such. That's somehow relatively nasty and gnarly. Yeah, so the amount of toy reviews I've been making has been chronically large, but then I initially thought, no, I just feel like I've lost the heart of it, and I've just lost the urge to make any flip up toy reviews because, well, even though I've just finished the, have you seen the Farting Monkeys animation and Explosive Diary of Ross Paddyfield Boardwalk animation? Yeah, the Boardwalk animation was quite hilarious. It was actually quite much more of a bottle episode. It was much more of a very simple animation to start off with because it came out just after the Rice Paddy Fields roadside and riverside and road embankment type animation thingy that I did. So what that also means is that not having that many toy reviews may also start to pump up more animated content, which seems very decisive for me. Very good for animation content on YouTube, but bad for the way I produce toy reviews. And that really seems to be a bit of a very huge sideswipe factor here. Am I going to be doing this first, or should I just move on to that? Well, it's becoming like a complete bloodbath of wars, and I'm not really meaning it as a bit of a telltale sort of thing. Well, I'm not just dilly-dallying around though like an absolute idiot. Okay, so I'm just pretty much wondering whatever the hell am I supposed to do now? Okay, so maybe that's just how I'm feeling. So that's why I have to hold up the toy reviews and stuff, and it's one of these things, I don't really have to pretty much start thinking about, making toy reviews for YouTube of today or not, though. It's actually going to be very, very tricky for me. And somehow it's one of those things, I can do toy reviews the next first and then the animations the next. How everything's going to work as little time just flies by. As sad as this sounds. Please leave a comment on what what's the situation is actually going to be all about. Especially if you're pretty much into like toy reviews and such, of course, or animations. If you want to see some stuff, tell me of all the different things you want me to do. Of course, yes, it's quite very much unknown at the moment though still. But I've got another thing that's also been hampering working my YouTube channel. Remember I spoke about the bar violence? The bus? It was route number 7 where we had a couple of 2 drunk men. That was very abhorrent and depriving to see though. And that scene should have never been too far. Well, then in the afternoon, guess what? I went on, I think it was bus 47 or bus 45. And guess what? There's another problem I've actually seen. And I tell you what, I'm not actually joking, but this is serious, but I've got a lot of serious things to talk about here. Okay, so the first problem I'm going to be talking about is there was an autistic guy, and I believe he was a middle-aged Jamaican sort of guy here. I think he was wearing like, let's just say an olive green sort of brownish coat, I think it was. I don't know what it was, but I think what really happened was I think he was picked up just after going by the train station, I think it was. And he looked like he was actually sitting down, but in reality, what really scared the crap out of me was that when I saw this guy, he actually was walking. Well, he didn't go towards me, of course. He was actually spectating. He was actually like, instead of sitting on the bus, he was actually sort of standing. And guess what he did? Well, I'm actually going to interpret what he was doing. He was actually kind of like walking side to side, stereotypically like a zoo animal at a local enclosure. And guess what? He was basically blocking people's way. Now, what really happened? Now, what's going to happen if a person is standing on a bus? And of course, yes, if there's people wanting to go in and out of the bus and they want to switch floors and stuff, remembering in our country, the UK, we are very much, overzealous with double-decker buses. What would you do? You either just sit or you just get the complete, you get the holler horn for it. What can I really say? Either sit down or you break the rules or flout the rules. And unfortunately, it's one of these things. Well, that autistic guy, it's going to take, I don't know what to really say this, but I hate saying this, but this guy really needs to probably, he needs to be in court, okay, so obviously that's the thing with autistic adults. Obviously it's like that. I've seen it with trains. You know, I've seen this guy, and he was like walking back and forth, and that was his thing. He was walking back and forth, and unfortunately, I think he was blocking other people's way. And I've noticed there was another guy who was similar to him, and I think I sat at the very back seat of the bus. And of course, yes, I think at the time when we actually stopped the bus, I think what was going on, I think that really sort of intimidated me. I think I had the look of horror, and I was actually shocked. And I was actually disgusted. I tell you what, I actually felt pretty angry about it, because do we really need to stand on buses? An Afro-Caribbean Jamaican guy who was autistic, he was walking side to side. I think he was also like sort of swinging. I felt like he was sort of the most, sort of stereotypical dangerous type person that you'd probably find out in the street or in the bus. Okay, so obviously I bet the police might probably acknowledge this. And I tell you what, I don't really make that much crime scene investigation type videos on YouTube, okay? So, and as I'm pretty much autistic, I often tend to pretty much do the opposite ways they do. People just walking around through buses and stuff, instead of sitting, standing. But then I think the bus driver was Chinese, I think it was. I think he now acknowledged the passenger that he was breaching safety issues. Now, of course, yes, that really sums up a lesson. If you stand on the bus, you may hurt others, but if you also stand on the bus, well then you may also hurt yourself, even if the bus is handbraking. So vice versa, you're basically doing things which are unsafe to yourself and for other people too. It's basically the great big hurt bubble, or the great big bubble of pain, as I would like to explain it here. Now, in order to actually finish this off, remember I said about the raindrops in the shower? I'm really sorry, but I have to hollow this one out. It's not funny. Okay, so I'm being very serious here. You've been warned. As I said before when I talked about that vlog, about the raindrops, I'm starting to feel serious now. And the reason why I'm starting to feel serious is because it's not really funny. Okay, this has to stop. I'm sorry, this has to effing stop. I'm sorry, I don't want to really swear here, but anytime if anyone really mentions about raindrops on my shoulder, that's it. I had enough, okay? Because every time you talk about it, I'm actually really, really ticked off, okay? I find it very upsetting. Okay, so any upsetting moment I really talk about, that's not fair. From other people, anyone who talks about any upsetting moment that I had, that's wrong. Okay, so I wouldn't allow it. Okay, so no more of that. Okay, so this has to stop. Okay, talking about this whole raindrops in my shoulder thing, it's getting on my nerves. And it's really getting on my nerves because you know why? It's been hurting convenience over the enthusiasm of my YouTube channel and also my college stuff. I mean, that's not fair. I mean, I was yelling it for the fact that I was just being, I was just being very, traumatized. I was just being traumatized, okay? I was just in the state of trauma. Okay, so I had many traumatic issues back then, though. Really, it really takes a huge step back forward on reflecting on what's been happening. Okay, this is like 1 month after the near accident or incident. I nearly had an angry accident 1 month ago, and I'm starting to feel serious about it. Obviously, anyone talking about it should be blocked and banned from this YouTube channel. I'm sorry, but I have to put up this rule here. That, of course, yes, well, that's it. Not much I could really say, but you should be banned and blocked from my YouTube channel. I mean, this is wrong. You guys should be, completely banned and completely blocked from that site if that really happens, talking about it. I'm sorry, but that has to stop. That's what I'm saying here. But anyways, without getting a little bit angry in a sense, sorry about that. Of course, yes, I've pretty much calmed myself down after the situation about 1 month ago. And it's very worthy to note that whenever I'm dealing with people who are very antisocial on buses and stuff, that's the thing. And in the end, I'm straightforward one of these people who isn't victimized and stuff, and that's why I'm seemingly making this video for the sake of just healing myself. And to also explain why I may never be making any content on YouTube these days. And I know that it does sound sort of painful, but yeah, of course I seemingly start to now realize maybe YouTube isn't really as great as it used to be. Although I feel like I'm still sort of stopping my goal of just reaching up to 1,300 videos. You know, that's my entire goal. Maybe I can just clock up to 1,400 videos and see how it goes. Anyways, I might have to leave this video here. Sorry for the absolute rant here, but I do know that this video is a bit different. Please give this video a like, subscribe for more Flip Out videos in the future, and as always, thanks so much for watching, and bye for now. Oops, sorry, I actually forgot to show you something. On my toy reviews, you may have noticed that I often tend to associate with playing with trains and stuff, as I'm todding. Flipping out, made a giant mess here. That wasn't meant to happen, eh? So, obviously, there's actually one bit I actually forgot to put at the very end of this video. Remember I spoke about having no toy reviews? You know, I've got some batteries here, and that actually sends a very significant clue. I may never be able to play with my toy trains again. So, what I might be able to do is, just in case, if I'm not doing any videos with them, well then the most, if not all, simplistic thing I can do is take the batteries out of the train and then put the batteries back on where they belong onto that tub. I think it's very simple enough to understand that whenever I play with toys like this and they've still got batteries in them, it's always best to take them out. I'll probably unscrew these as I'm just taking a break from doing toy reviews of late without actually upsetting any other person on YouTube or any fan on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing now. As obvious as this sounds, I'll just remove the batteries just in case if the train stopped working because of a battery leak. As always, thanks for watching for the second time, and bye for now.